What is up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with an all new review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, I know I'm late, but your girl has started college, okay? And I'm already knee deep in doing assignments. So you're going to get these as I balance my college life with my kids' school and everything. So let's get into it. It picks up with Kenya at her salon. Cynthia's in the scene, and they're discussing Cynthia's divorce being finalized, and Kenya's divorce is still not being finalized. But it's very happy to see that Kenya and Cynthia are back in a better place. What I'm upset about is this is not only the second time y'all have cut Kenya and Cynthia's scenes, but I've discovered y'all have cut multiple scenes with Kenya and the development of her salon. There was a photo last week on Instagram that she had a grand opening. Claudia Jordan was in the picture, Candy, Cynthia, um her friend Akila. Why are you guys cutting out scenes of Kenya developing her salon? Why are you trying to save film for other people who don't have a lot going on? As I'm continuing on, Sheree, she's trying to have a sip and see for us to see her granddaughter so she can be introduced of this grandma. I felt like, what's the point? And later down the episode, this entire party wasn't for Mecca. This party was for Sheree. Sheree wanted to have an excuse to throw a party with money she clearly has come out of thin air. So she doesn't have the money to go get her fibroids fixed, but has the money to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on balloons and teddy bears and cakes and all this and that for her granddaughter. Okay. Moving on from that, it is day one of shooting because Todd and Candy is going to shoot the pass in the next 10 days. So everybody is in makeup. Todd is congratulating Drew on being a very, very good actress. This role was made for her. Everybody's pretty much on from that. Sonya, Ross, and Deuce are headed to Dr. Jackie's office to do an ultrasound to find out how far along is she, because she was pregnant the last episode. They're trying to see how far along she is now. I believe she is 5 weeks in this scene, but Dr. Jackie was concerned with Sonya bringing her son there because maybe this is a little bit too early for him to be here right now. I know he's been talking about wanting a sibling. Ross has been wanting another child, but maybe wait a little bit before you bring your son in to know everything, because Dr. Jackie did refer to Sonya having a geriatric pregnancy because Sonya is over the age of 35, and the problems, the complications of women over that age find it harder to become pregnant. But as I've stated in my last review, she is pregnant with her rainbow baby now, but when she was filming, she was 5 weeks along, but she miscarried. And that was pretty much it. You know, I'm happy for Sonya. I'm happy she is expanding her family. She looks very happy in her photos. She looks glowing. Her family are becoming complete. Moving on from there, we got day 4 of shooting the movie The Pass. And Todd has this vision of completing this movie within 10 days because he's working with a real actress. And knowing that they're using their home and every other thing that they own to shoot the movie, it's pretty smart because he's following the guidelines of what Tyler Perry did. Tyler Perry used what he had to shoot his movies. And it is kind of uncomfortable for you to shoot sex scenes in your home, but it doesn't change the fact that there are multiple places that a lot of directors and producers uses other people's homes for music videos and other kind of movies. So it's not that unheard of, because Ty said they're saving at least 6 figures of not paying for location, paying to rent out places for them to shoot the movie. We better use what we have, which is smart. And Manietta comes in. They're just discussing what's been going on with the scenes, especially the sex scene. Drew is trying to convince herself that while she is an actress, she has done makeout scenes with men. She's had intimate scenes with men. This is her first attempt, her first time shooting an intimate scene with a woman. This is her first time shooting a sex scene with a woman. So it's a lot of first. And Candy is reassuring her, while it is a challenge, you are an actress, you do adapt when you are taking on a different role. They have intimacy coaches for you to become comfortable. But for real, Drew, do you really need tools and tricks on how to be comfortable? Because it didn't take you to be that uncomfortable when you kiss Latoya, no matter how many times you deny it. Because this is not that first. I'm just saying, I'm with Candy. Girl, you weren't that uncomfortable when you kissed Latoya. So please stop. And Candy and Manietta are talking to Todd about Drew's sister's meditation retreat. And it got good, but then it was discovered that Courtney called Drew a bitch. Todd went off. Drew came in so she can hear the tea because now she's not even claiming Courtney as cousin. Her name is Courtney, okay, as it should have been. And with finding out that Courtney called her a bitch, it was like, did she really say it? I haven't seen the tape. Manietta got the tape. It's the same scene where we see Courtney going off, and pointing in the direction of Sonya standing by saying, this bitch even questioned me. And it could look confusing as to who was she talking to for real. The way the camera caught it, it looks like she's calling Sonya a bitch, but let's not forget, Manietta witnessed a collusion of Marlo, Sheree, Sonya, all trying to convince Courtney to not trust Drew, to look at how Drew behaves. And Courtney, who is trying so hard to fit in, wants to be accepted by this particular clique, she's going to go along with it. So it's kind of like she was, in essence, talking about Drew. Like, this bitch even questioned me. Even though Sonya was standing there, it's the energy, the presence of Drew being a topic of conversation. And as if she's here but not here, you're calling her out of her name when she's not there. And again, it's confusing as to who was she talking to, but for Courtney to lie, to say she doesn't call women bitches, it's a fucking lie. Because you're clearly in this video calling someone a bitch. So you're fucking lying, Courtney. Don't lie. Because even though it cuts to day 5 of shooting, and this is the intimate scene that she's going to have with another woman. And, Drew always talks about the technicalities and what tools and tricks go along with shooting an intimate scene, because she's trying to really convince herself, like I said before, that she's not attracted to women. And her role in this is to just be an actress. I'm focusing on my 5 senses of how to connect with a person that I'm shooting a movie with. I'm just like, Drew, spare us the dictionary on how to act, okay? Just admit this role was made for you because there is some part of you that you've hidden away because of your ideals of marriage, your upbringing, that you don't want to admit something about yourself, okay? Because I feel like this entire role was made for you. That's why you are slowly being exposed into having a somewhat situationship with another woman. Like, I have no idea, but that scene was spicy to me. I can't wait for it to happen all throughout the movie. Then it cuts to Marlo doing her foster care foundation because she wants to showcase the success of people who were in the foster care system and have made something of themselves. I like it, but I don't care because it's Marlo. She invites the same people who she wants to invite. She had a little bit of an annoyance with Sheree because Sheree wasn't there, because she is using the expectation of how she wants other people to be there for her, but she doesn't do the same thing. But I know it wasn't going to last long, that she's not going to be that upset of Sheree not showing up. But she eventually showed up anyway. Scott Lee was there to give her support, and I'm going to move on from there. So now it is the day of Mecca's coming out party, aka Sheree's coming out party. The decor is fabulous. She paid a pretty big penny for all of the teddy bears, the blush and nudes balloons, the event planner. I just want to see the invoice. That's all I want to see, because Sheree, you avoid paying for things that you should pay for. You avoid for paying for surgery for your fibroids, but yet you chose to improve your breast implants. You didn't want to pay for a steamer machine for your clothes to not be wrinkled when you package them, but decided to put helium in your face. And now there's no label budget when it comes to your granddaughter, please. I'm sorry. The money that's coming out of thin air, you really pay for that though? I'm just saying, the way you chose to use money for things that doesn't really have to be spent is funny to me, okay? But the party started at 4. Sonya arrived first. Stray was still getting her makeup and hair done. The event planner lets her know the harpist has arrived, the champagne's about to be served, and obviously she's not stressed about how much money she's spending at this point. But if you of shooting the movie The Past, Drew is exhausted. She's looking at her to-do list. She's shooting about 10 scenes today. But Drew is acting like a diva right now because this entire process is odd to her. She's shooting a movie in someone else's home, shooting a very intimate scene in someone else's bed, and just talking about any movie she's doing from here on out has to be Lifetime or above. Nothing lower than that. Drew, don't do that. Drew, you are a very accomplished actress. Can't nobody talk about the work you haven't done when we've seen your work. But who's been knocking on your door to do any movies? Yeah, you did the Lifetime movie with LaToya Luckett last year, which was a good movie. But don't act like you're too good to do any other kind of movie that's not Lifetime. Because just announced today on Twitter, The Pass will stream exclusively on Peacock this upcoming Sunday. The same network that streams RHOA. The same streaming service that pays your bills will also air the movie you were just in. So don't do that. And as far as feeling uncomfortable doing a movie in someone else's home, you were in another hotel when you did the last time with Trey Songz. You also rented out a skating rink for your music video. So, and where did you shoot the intimate scene with Ralph? Was that your home? So don't act like it's unheard of that producers and directors don't use their own stuff to promote movies or to shoot movies. Don't do that. That's how all these other music videos get done. They shoot in someone else's shit. They use someone else's properties, or they go ahead and use what they have to save some change. So do not do that, Drew. I don't like that. I really didn't like that you did that. I really do think you need to humble yourself just a smidge and be grateful and thankful that Todd and Candy decided to use you. You know what I'm saying? They decided to have you be a part of the movie. They didn't even ask you to audition. They instantly thought you'd be perfect for the role because of the work that you've put in while being an actress. You should be thankful for that. And you know you'll get a really pretty big check doing this move with Kenny and Todd because you know the work that Kenny and Todd have been doing have been successful. So again, Drew, do not do that. What else happened in this scene? I think Ralph stops by, which was a surprise for Drew because Ralph never stops by when she's on set. Wonder what's different about him stopping by this time. So, she's just breaking down of what she's been doing, but the only thing that Ralph wanted to talk about was the intimate scene she had with her female co-star. And she's trying to be technical about how the scene got shot, but he's just all about what took place. She put her face in the place. Shout out to Roxanne. And you was doing this, you was doing that. And it's making Drew uncomfortable that all he's doing is making jokes and making comments about wanting to see her being seduced by a woman. And she's feeling like he's not being supportive of her as an actress. He's not taking into consideration all the things she has to do while being an actress, all the steps she has to take of embracing a role. Because she says this role is literally like me. I'm finding moments of truth about myself in this character. She's a wife, she's submissive, and he blurts out she a lesbian. And I feel like Drew be taken off guard, like she be taken in surprise about the things that Ralph be talking about as far as the way she is hiding herself, having intimate feelings or attractive feelings for same sex. And I think that she doesn't like that Ralph be so quick to blurt it out because she's trying to keep that personality or that part of her separate. You know what I mean? Because at this point she's ready for him to go. Because I don't think you haven't been at any point of the scenes I've been filming this movie. You've only wanted to show up when I have to shoot this particular scene or I have shot this particular scene. It's like, where was your mind at this entire time? But I still don't like the way that Ralph said he respects his wife's career, but he blurts it out in a way where because she's got to go do this, I still have to hold down the household, and it becomes chaotic. Sir, that's your household too. Excuse me. As far as you making comments about why should I have to pick up the slack of how the household should be ran, that's not my job. That's Drew's job. But now since Drew suddenly got a job, I gotta now pick up the slack. It's just kind of like, sir, go away. Like, I just don't like those backhanded, barbaric, annoying to hear him complain about doing what he's supposed to be doing as the man of the house. Help your wife out like she helps you out. Um, Moving on from there, we are continuing on with it being Sheree's coming out party. Everybody is starting to arrive after Sonya. Candy came. Akila came. Kenya came. Cynthia came. They're all in their blushes and nudes. Um, Drew pulled up shortly after, but decided not to come in because she recognized that Anthony was walking in. She felt like this is a trap. I'm not coming in. And she called Candy to tell her, I'm not coming in. There's a man in here that assaulted me, and it was Anthony. Anthony used to work for Drew last season, who also used to work for Sheree. And Anthony both caused a lot of mess between Sheree and Drew because he both spread their information to the other one, to the other person. And the altercation that he had with Drew was out at a lounge dancing, having a good time. Her shoes were on a VIP couch, and Anthony picked up her shoe and threw it at her. With her coming outside to check on Drew, it's like, what's up? What's going on? I completely forgot about the altercation you had with him. Did Sheree knew? She said yes, she knew. Even though, Drew, you should not be surprised about anything when it comes to Sheree, because Sheree is not a real friend. She ain't. When something that was done to you that you have every right to feel away, she's not going to care. She's going to literally dig it in. She's going to like gnaw and throw it back in your face about what happened because she wants to still keep the connection with someone that she might end up using later on. It wasn't cool at all. I agree. So when she walked back in, um, Candy spoke to Sheree about, did you know about the altercation that Anthony had with Drew? Because Sheree is still in good standings with Anthony after the reunion. And overhearing Candy and Sheree, he decided to be messy and nasty by saying, ain't nobody worried about Drew's wide ass. And it's like, see, you starting already. I don't like Anthony. I don't like him. And he goes off. I mean, he was literally waiting for his time to come on camera to say something. And Candy is trying to get him to understand, you do realize you had a physical altercation with her. And he said it was because she was over there bitching about something. And I don't like that because she owes me a coin and she owes her husband an apology. First of all, why are you advocating for her husband? Why does Ralph need to be owed an apology? And for you to come out of your mouth to also say that her marriage is unsuccessful and that her career is down the drain? Oh, hell no. I no, Anthony is not to be trusted. Anthony is for clout. He's for self, okay? And no, Candy is trying to get an understanding as to what happened because he said she threw her purse at him, which led for him to throw his shoe. But saying how he did not hit her first, he doesn't hit women, he advocates for women, I can't tell. And Candy is just kind of like, I know me and Drew have had our ups and downs, but I'm not going to side with someone who is clearly in front of me trying to start some mess. And Drew is not trying to start mess, hence why she didn't want to come in. Anthony right here in front of me giving me all this energy. He wants to start mess, and I'm not fooling with him. And the reason why he's at the party is because Sheree wants to repay the kindness to Anthony because Anthony was the one who introduced Martell to Sheree. He's friends with Martell. They were out of town. He asked if he could meet her, and they've been hanging out ever since. I do not believe you. What pull does Anthony have to get Martell to come and meet you? I I'm still thinking it's Carlos because Anthony don't seem like he got that type of pull to me. But either way, that wasn't cool. That Martell, who's still being mentioned, ugh, he's standing next to Sheree. Kenya wanted to have a conversation with him about what happened at Sonya's party for Ross, right? Because it didn't end good. Kenya read his ass for Phil, gave him the energy that he rightfully deserved. Excuse me. The reason why she went off on him is because the energy that he was coming to her about, she didn't have nobody else to defend her. So she had to match the energy he was on. Here goes Sheree in the confessional, shading her. Girl, what is this? I don't have nobody else to defend me. Girl, you never have a man to defend you. You never have one. I said, Sheree, shut your ass up. This man don't even defend you. He don't even claim you. He calls you his friend, girl. And you're always shading someone else about what their man don't do, how their man never show up, but your man don't do it because he's not real. Like, shut up, Sheree. But Kenya wasn't wrong in reacting with the way Martell came off, because Martell did come off rude and disrespectful. The way that he said she's the type to answer all of her DMs. He was being very pushy, very aggressive to prove that he did not reach out to her. He did not do this. So it's kind of like, you can miss me with that. And she wasn't wrong for calling him once a cheater, always a cheater. You fucking piece of shit. That's exactly what he is. But she apologized, even though she don't think she did anything wrong, because I don't think she did anything wrong. And they moved on from there. I also forgot they've been at this party for hours and still haven't seen the guest of honor, who is Mecca. And it's like, girl, we need to see something. It's the whole point of a sip and see. All right. Now, after Martell and Kenya squashed their issues, Sheree decided to check on Mecca. Mecca was falling asleep and decided to wake Mecca out of her beauty sleep so she could be presented to a whole bunch of people with cameras and loud music and lights. And it's just kind of like, you did all of that just to showcase your grandchild who is obviously sleeping. Let the baby sleep. You ruining her beauty sleep. You ruining her whole timeline of how she goes to sleep. That's going to make the parents not get their sleep, because you're going to mess up her sleep. And I am with Candy. This party is clearly for Sheree, because Mecca clearly don't want to be bothered, and you are bothering her with all of this hoopla. All right. So moving on from there, everybody just watches the beautiful baby Mecca be introduced, and they're taking family photos. But they're noticing there's another woman taking photos with them, and it's like, who is that? Harper, who this woman? Is that Bob's daughter? Is that Bob's girlfriend? Is that a sister? We don't know who that is. So they're all questioning it, and they're questioning Sheree. Do you know who that is in the photos? I don't know. That's not a girlfriend that he's pulling into the photos, because when she pulled Martell into the photo, because Candy was like, you told Martell to wear pink when he's not a man or your man. He's not a part of the family. He is a side piece that you pull to the side and leave to the side. Like, shoo him away. But she was playing tit for tat against Bob, because not knowing if Bob was going to bring somebody that he's in a relationship with, she wanted to make sure she wasn't looking like, I'm alone, I don't have nobody with me. That's why she pulled Martell. Sheree, grow up. Both you and Bob, grow up. All right, why y'all trying to one up one another? Y'all are both divorced of grown adults. Like, this is crazy to me. Cause it's just like crazy to me. Like, why are you trying to compete with your ex-husband? For what? So, still confused about who is this woman. Sheree asked Bob, introduce me to Candace. And he said, this is my daughter. Your daughter? How? Like, what? Like, wait, we were married and everything. I didn't know you had another daughter. And she said that she is a couple of years younger than his oldest, because when Sheree and Bob got married, he came into a relationship with two kids, but find out that after they had two more, it's been discovered he had three kids in total. Again, introduce me to the story. Like, I did not know you existed, because apparently Candace has been around Cairo, had been around all the other siblings, gone to family events, all of under Sheree's nose, and did not know nothing about her. Then when Sheree told the girls that's his daughter, she was like, wait, what? His daughter? And he decided to use today to reveal the baby, to reveal he had another baby? That's crazy. And everybody who had history of knowing Bob is just like, Candy knew Bob when she was 19, didn't know he had another daughter. Kenya knew Bob was cheating on Sheree with a friend of hers. I'm just like, what? So when they called him over, they like, Bob, what you doing, Bob? So she's the daughter? Yeah. She's older than Cairo? Yeah. Why didn't you say anything sooner? He said Sheree was on a need to know basis back then. A need to know what? You were married to her. You had more kids with her, and you decided to conveniently evaluate you had another baby? Like, what? That don't make no sense. Cause Bob. What do you? What? Oh my God, Bob ain't shit. Bob ain't shit. It's just this don't make no sense. You decide to embarrass your ex-wife on the day that your granddaughter's going to be revealed into the world. That while she was married to you, you hid a daughter under her nose this entire time, thinking that she knew everything about you, thinking that everything was gonna be peaches and cream while being with you. Come to find out you hid a baby. Like what? Niggas ain't shit. Point blank period. Niggas ain't shit. And Bob ain't shit. He really don't find it an issue that he kept his daughter away from being revealed to Sheree all this time, but hid her from her, but had her introduced to everybody else around her. Like, that is not cool. So when he walked away after being questioned, because it didn't make any sense, that's why you never told her. Damn. That's the reveal of the night, like Candy said. So that was the baby reveal. Wow. Moving on from there, I believe hopefully that was the end of the episode. But that was pretty much the end of the episode. I ain't gonna lie, it didn't get juicy towards the end of the episode, finding out that Bob had another daughter and Sheree didn't know anything about it. That was funny to me. But next week is the season finale. They now have decided to drop the divorce between Ralph and Drew. And I'm just kind of like, wait, so what's gonna happen throughout the rest of the season? Are y'all gonna talk about the duration of the divorce on season 16? And we just gonna get the divorce announcement on the last episode? I guess. I don't know. Because I feel like y'all could have talked about this entire thing between Ralph and Drew this entire season. But y'all decided to save the divorce for the last episode. All right. I hope the reunion is better than the season. I'm just saying. Because this season, it had good moments. It had dull moments. It had okay moments. But y'all came out with a bang and y'all ended off with a bang. But in between, it was just like snooze. But that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video. And I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.